Welcome to Coming In Hot. Thank you live from Airplay Beats for the intro music. We are recording live from Darling New Media Studios in Midtown Sac. All right, guys, I'm a little nervous on this one. We got a legend in the building. We got somebody that everybody knows in the building. If you in Sac, if you in North California, if you just, walking through the living room from 6 to 10 in the morning, we got a legend, people. We got Courtney Dempsey in the building. Oh my goodness. Now, when we started this Coming In Hot, this is what I'm talking about. Now, me and Courtney, we've known each other for a long time. We don't hang out at all.
Right.
We run in different circles. I eat meat. She's a vegetarian.
I was gonna say let's talk about the main reason why we don't run in the same circle, Steve. Because you be I'm trying to get some tofu.
I need my barbecue, and they ain't barbecuing tofu where I go. We might barbecue tofu other places, but I remember this moment. I still had Cecil's Taste food truck, and I was doing a segment with Tina Makua on the truck, and I had these kale chips. I used to put these kale chips on this veggie burger that I had, and Courtney wasn't even supposed to be there, but all of a sudden, you just see this hand just coming through the window and eating these kale chips. And she and she asked me if I sold them. I was like, no, it's just for the sandwich. She said I should. And I started selling the damn kale chips.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
So Courtney, I don't have no money for you, but thank you.
I got you, brother.
Hey. So we're gonna, hey, I need to, all right, we only got about 45 minutes and we got to get a lot in these 45.
All right, so, let's do it.
From Vallejo, correct?
Yes, Vallejo, all day.
That's what's up. Now, if you're from Northern California, you know a lot about Vallejo. You know that you just don't walk up in Vallejo unless you go on the Six Flags, to go see some pets or go see a well or something. You just don't go to Vallejo.
These are facts.
These are facts.
It's better to be invited, but I mean,
Or you better check in, right?
It's true.
You just don't roll to Vallejo, okay?
Don't just show up unannounced.
No. So let's start with that. Vallejo, upbringing. And when did you're born in Vallejo? Let's start there. Where did you go to school, and how did you get from Vallejo to Sacramento?
Okay, so born and raised in Vallejo. My parents still live there. So I bounced around in middle school, or I should say in elementary school, went to Pennycook. Everybody from Vallejo knows where that is. Junior high, went to Vallejo Junior High School, which is across town from where I was supposed to go to school because I was going to the GATE program. So I had to go across town and take the bus and all that stuff. And then in high school, I decided I want to go back to my neighborhood.
Hold on a second, Courtney. Hold on a second. We're talking about the GATE program. That means that you're very smart people. The people that listen to this, they hating in the GATE program, Courtney. I love my people.
So, how do you know there's nobody from the GATE program listening right now? You knew what it was.
Because my mom put me in a GATE program, put me in the IB program, and I almost flunked out of school. That's why I know what a GATE program is, Courtney. All right. So we hit the GATE program. We go to high school.
Hit the GATE program, came back to my side of town to go to high school because I wanted to go to my neighborhood school. I wanted to go to the same high school that my brothers went to. So I went to Hogan. So now that's where we have a situation because, we've got Hogan, we've got Vallejo. Longtime rivals. Hogan is no longer a high school. It's a junior high now.
Okay.
But anybody that grew up, back in the day, you were either Hogan or you were Vallejo. Now there's a Jesse Bethel High School now, but that's new school. I don't know nothing about that. There was no Jesse Bethel when I was there. Shout out to Jesse Bethel. If you went to Jesse Bethel, shout out to you. But I know nothing of your school. I'm talking about Hogan right now. Okay.
All right.
So yes, went to Hogan. One of my counselors, or I should say actually the vice president or vice principal at Hogan, knew who soon became my sorority sister at Sac State, and was like, hey, they're looking for more African-American students to go to Sac State. Are you interested? And I was like, because at the time, I knew nothing about Sacramento. That was not in the direction that I was trying to go. I was trying to either go to an HBCU or something like that. My father was like, what you're not going to do is leave this state. So figure it out. I was like, okay, understood.
Yeah.
But once I got to know, a couple people at Sac State, it was an easy choice. So I ended up going to Sac State, which is how I got to Sacramento. And when I was in college, my second year at Sac State, I did an internship with Tina Makua, who is now my coworker. But at the time, she was my internship coordinator. And that's really how this whole world got started for me.
Okay. And I know Tina because she used to come to my school. I went to Mariloma. And
that's her school too.
She was an alumni there, and she always come. Back then, she had like purple hair, blue hair. I just remember this little Filipino lady, and the voice, she was so boisterous and just but it's just a little package. And every time she went, it freaked me out, man.
Okay, did Tina have a perm at the time? Do you remember? Did she have a curly perm?
I don't think she had the curly perm. I do remember her coming with she had one of those things called the crinkle. It wasn't.
Oh, she had crepes.
Yeah, crepes. Yeah, the crepes. I remember that.
Oh man,
one year. Yeah,
that's old school.
Yeah, exactly. So you come to Sac. Do you go to Sac State first before you go to the internship, or are you going to school doing the internship at the same time?
No, went to Sac State first. I'm going to say a year. I was at Sac State and then did my internship like into the beginning of my second year at Sac State. That's how I met Tina. Also met Mark Allen. Okay. They did the morning show together. Also met Ebro. He was, at the time, Ebro was a young cat. He was trying to get in and get his own show. And he was working with Davey D and all that stuff. And he was trying to get hip hop going on radio. And the program director at the time was like, there'll never be a hip hop station. There's no way mainstream radio will ever have a hip hop station. This is early 90s, right? Yeah. And, but Ebro has been about that life, been about that hip hop life. So he was plugging and finally got his own show at night. And so me and all my girlfriends, we would always listen to the show because that's when we knew we would hear, some real hip hop.
Yeah, it was real hip hop.
Just that good music, right?
Yeah.
And so, that was a good time. That was my first exposure to radio because at the time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I was really into writing. I thought I wanted to write for a periodical until I took a survey class at Sac State and then did my internship. And then I kind of got a little bit more exposure to broadcasting and what that might lead to. Okay. So that's how I ended up going in that direction.
Yeah. So why did, the radio and you go to broadcasting, what's the difference in your eyes? Because, when Good Day started, we just remember, Tina and Marcus Allen, doing the morning zoo or something like that. Yep. And, listening to them every single morning, but, how is it different from going to radio in front of a camera and what's the difference other than people could see you?
Right. I would say the main difference is the way you tell a story, right? Okay. Because with radio, you have to paint the picture yourself with your words, with the sound effects, with interaction, that kind of thing. With television, you have vision. So you can actually show what you're talking about. And then it makes the experience a little bit more rich because you have so many more senses that you're going off of, that you're vibing off of. So I would say it makes it easier to tell a story with television. But the problem then becomes, okay, but it's got to be quality. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, you can't be on television janky. On radio, you can hide some stuff. You
Mm.
can't hide nothing on TV. You can't hide nothing. And now everything is HD and 8K and this. Listen, I'd be like, are my eyebrows? Let me go collect some stuff, and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
whole different
exactly.
situation. Totally different. Totally different.
So, when you started in TV, I'll be straight up real. Like you didn't see too many of us in the morning. You might see us at 11 o'clock doing the weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what was that experience for you? Because you had to be one of the first Black folks on morning television in Sacramento. Like, how did that come about? You interning to, pivoting to broadcast to actually being an anchor on Good Day Sacramento. Like, how does that happen?
I got to tell you, it's hard for a young person to aspire to something that they don't see, right? So when I got here, like you mentioned, this was early 90s, and there were not, as you mentioned, a lot of people who look like us on TV. So I kind of had to go back to what I knew growing up in the Bay Area. I had Dennis Richmond, I looked up to Dennis Richmond on KTVU, on Channel 2 in the Bay Area. And then there was Cheryl Hurd, who was from Vallejo, broadcast journalist, ended up going to KPIX in San Francisco. And so I had that to look up to, but that was in my home environment. So when you leave home, that's one thing. And then you leave what's familiar and come somewhere else where culturally is very, very different. Sacramento is a bit of a melting pot now, but when I got here in the early 90s, it was not at all, at all. I think about the movie Higher Learning, and Ice Cube explains where everybody's at. Disneyland is over here, Little Africa's over here. Sacramento was just like that.
Yes.
And it was scary because my first inclination was, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, because I didn't have an example, right? I didn't have a lot of people to look up to. I will say Darla Givens started a little before I did. And so I was able to see Darla, and she was over at Channel 10. And it was so nice to see a sister who is smart and has a background in science, to do meteorology, and just to see, someone who looks like me do something that I almost gave up on, to be completely honest. Okay. You know what I mean? But there wasn't a lot outside of that. It wasn't a lot. Charlotte Vidippi, phenomenal journalist, had her to look up to. But when you look at the anchor desk, which is where most journalists aspire to go, the anchor desk is where you see, number one, longevity, and that's where you see the most experience, right? And so without being able to see that, at least here, I was like, well, I guess there's nothing for me here. I'll learn what I need to learn, or as much as I can learn. And then when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. Yeah. That was my, first idea, but it ended up working out much better for me, but kind of had to figure it out.
Yeah, no, and definitely, shout out to everybody at Good Day Sacramento. They always showed me love, always.
Good.
I swear, when I would turn on the morning television and it was you and Ken, I would just melt. I'd be like, oh my God, we got this brother and we got this sister. We just sitting here and we having, we just waking up and we doing our thing. And, it was blessing. It was a blessing to see. Big shout out to Ken. He's always been cool.
Absolutely. Good people.
Hopefully doing his thing down south. But let's see. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
It's nothing bad. I just want to know how you feel being a Black icon in Sacramento. Yes, you are.
Cecil, you a little heavy on that icon word, bruh.
Listen, because I go to events. I go to every single event, and I'm always a vendor. But when Courtney Dempsey is on on that top of on the list right there. You always have a line. I can't even say what's up to you. You got bodyguards. You got, I'm like, no, Cecil, hey, Court. I look like I'm over there, hey, Court. Hey, what's up, Cease? How, I don't get that. I don't get that. So, come on now.
With the chicken, listen, I hear, maybe you don't get it, but I hear it in the streets. The people clamoring for the chicken, Cease.
People love the chicken. People do love the chicken.
They do. They do.
But I'm not on TV every morning. People don't wake up with me every morning. Only my wife.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay.
Only my wife does.
Only your wife. Oh my gosh.
So all right, take all the stuff away. How does it feel when, my daughter looks up to you? You get what I'm saying? My daughter don't like me that much. But
wow.
But my daughter knows your first and last name. She looks up to you. How is that feeling when I say a 5-year-old little black girl looks up to Courtney? Let's just go there.
Let me tell you how humbling that is. Let me tell you how much of a lump in the throat that I get when I hear something like that, because like I mentioned, I didn't have that, to a great degree growing up. So to me, that tells me, number one, I gotta keep strong. I gotta keep hustling. I have to keep representing, because it's not just about me, right? Mm-hmm. And I recognize every day that I go to work that I have an amazing job, I have an amazing opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I recognize that I'm not there because of nothing I did. I'm there because of something that my ancestors did, right? So that's first and foremost. Mm-hmm. And so it's incumbent upon me to be successful, not for myself, but to pave a road for your 5-year-old daughter who might want to do what I do when I retire. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would prefer to replace me with someone who looks like me. Okay. That, to me, that's my goal. Because it matters. It matters to me that a young girl turns on the TV and sees someone who looks like her, whose hair looks like hers. Mm-hmm. It matters to me that a young man, a young brother, turns on the TV and sees a woman that he can respect, because I want him to respect the women in his community, type of thing. And so I don't take it lightly. And I really do look at it as a responsibility. And as much as I enjoy my job, my coworkers are absolutely amazing. It's bigger than that to me. It's bigger than a paycheck. It's bigger than my, not 9 to 5, it's 4 to 1, but it's bigger. It's bigger than that old dark 30 hour. It's bigger. It's just bigger than that, because I didn't get there by myself, And I think it's a big deal that your daughter knows my name, and I owe it to her to be excellent.
No, that's my job. You do it every single day too.
Thank you, Cece.
I'm going to keep shouting you out.
I appreciate you.
Journalism during the pandemic.
Woo!
Yes. The 6-foot pole with the microphone in front.
Can I tell you, the first time I saw that Jimmy rigged apparatus, I was like, who engineered? And then I was like, wait, this is gonna work.
Yeah, no, it works.
It works.
It works.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, our photographers, like I said, our coworkers are phenomenal. Our photographers figured out I was like, okay, so is that a broomstick? Is it they were like, listen, we're gonna make this work. I measured it out at 6 feet. That's what that's the first and foremost thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
With these things. And then the engineers, they had to figure out how to get 2 or 3 anchors who are at home broadcasting from their kitchens or their garages or living rooms to be in sync with 5 other people that are in the studio and be in sync with 6 other people who are out in the field. I mean, that's crazy. If you would have said a year and a half ago, hey, we're going to have you broadcast from home, there's no way it'll work. There's no way it'll work.
Yeah.
But man, did it work. It's
you
insane.
did it for how long? For like maybe a year?
Well, I was at home for 5 months and then
Okay.
went back into the studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made that decision to get back in there?
Well, it was kind of a Good Day is a chemistry show. And I
Mm-hmm.
tell people all the time, you could have, amazing journalists, but if the chemistry's not there, try as hard as you want. It's not going to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good Day is very much about chemistry. And the chemistry was just a little bit off because we weren't, like Cody and I weren't in the same room, and it's kind of hard to vibe off each other when there's a little bit of delay and that kind of thing. So our news director very methodically figured out, okay, we'll bring one of you in, get that situation worked out, move some logistics around, and then bring another one in, just to make sure that it's safe for everybody, but to also get that chemistry back. So that's how that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And it took a minute, you got to ease into that kind of stuff.
No, you guys did a great job for what it was. But yeah, especially right now during the pandemic, and everybody's coming in from the outside, and you don't know where people been either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it was super tough on us because, like we still need to cook food, and, we're getting, city calling us and the county calling us, hey, get out there in your food truck. I'm like, well, like, what can I do? And they don't have the answer, like, I'm just trying to figure it all out. Just trying, okay, like, let's just go out there. Let's get on DoorDash. Let's just try everything. And then we're gonna start chopping away at what we don't need. So, that's super dope that, your manager there knew, like, all right, let's bring one person in, let's get them situated, bring another person in. Hey, you guys are doing your thing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to say, I personally, cause I was a little bit of a germaphobe before this whole pandemic happened. I ain't gonna lie. Spraying stuff before the Rona.
You was on that Lysol tip before the Rona.
But I gotta say, I really appreciate, the way CBS and particularly our building has been very vigilant about making sure that everybody's safe. They've got all these procedures in place, and it can be considered a little over the top at times, but it's to keep everybody safe, and I really appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
So, what about people are saying that, TV broadcasting is kind of dead right now. Like, there's just so many ways to look at news.
Right.
How are you guys staying relevant? Because again, every morning my wife turns on the TV, boom, there you guys are. So how are you different from these other broadcasts that are having a little bit of issues?
You know what? I can honestly point to the fact of what Good Day has been good at for 25 plus years is making sure that our local community is the first thing that we consider, is the biggest importance to us, and to make sure that it's the mom and pop businesses, it's the local artisans, it's the people who day to day have built their businesses from the ground up and have been featured on Good Day. And we go back to visit them to see how they're doing. And we go back to see how they've expanded. And we love meeting new business owners and people who are new creatives that are coming into the area. And I think that being our bread and butter has been what's kept us, first of all, kind of apart from the rest of the pack, who, some of which have come along and tried to do or emulate what we have been doing for almost 26 years. But we also take it to heart that these are our family members, these viewers and these business owners and these artisans and these creatives, they are part of the Good Day family. And so we are very much all about local. If it's happening in Stockton, we get in the car and go to Stockton and bring it to you. If it's happening in Turlock, if it's in Auburn, if it's in Sac, wherever it's happening, we go there and make sure that you know about it. We've got this whole franchise called Coming Back, because we really want to shout out all of these businesses that have either had to shut down or they've had to do major pivots just to get through this pandemic. We want to know that you're coming back. And then we want to make sure we tell our viewers, because that's who we are. That's who we've always been. We've always been in the community, first and foremost, to make sure that if you live anywhere in the Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto area, we got your back. and we got you covered. We're gonna let you know the restaurants, the theme parks, the anything, any creatives that are coming up with new brilliant ideas. We want to share that because really that's who we are. We're this community, and that's what we want to make sure is that we spotlight people in the community who are doing amazing things. And I think that really is what sets us apart, and why, even though broadcast TV is might be struggling for some people, for us, we're very different, and we're not bringing you the generic traditional stuff.
Yeah, no, like I totally agree with you on that. Like, even before I could like put something up on social media, I got Good Day calling me. Hey, I hear you guys are doing this. Like, how the hell?
Yes.
We were just talking about this. I'm over here looking over my shoulder, like, how do they
you
know?
Never know who's listening.
Yeah, we can come next Wednesday. Like, so Good Day is doing their thing. All right, Courtney. I know you guys love playing games on Good Day Sac.
Man, we love games.
All right, are you ready to play a few games?
Let's do it.
All right, so, all right, you ready? Because this might get you in a little trouble.
Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on. Let me do some mental stretches. Okay. Don't get fired. Okay, come on, Cease.
Top 5 co-hosts coming on the broadcast. Your co-anchor.
Top 5.
Okay. And they could be anybody. They could be dead. They could be alive. They could be anything. So, but you guys got to have chemistry. You can't just be over there flip-flopping through this whole thing. I need Courtney's top 5 co-chairs.
Okay, and these are people I've never worked with, right? Like people not on Good Day right now.
No, you could do Good Day right now. You could do people you worked with in the past. You can do anything you want.
Okay, all right. Top five. Okay. My homegirl till the wheels fall off, Tina McCoy.
Shout out Tina.
Shout out to Tina. Homegirl who I've never worked with, but I have a feeling we would have good repartee, Ashley Williams.
All right. Shout out.
And my list is female heavy, I'm being honest. Who would absolutely positively be an absolute ball to work with, but she probably gonna get me fired because she's gonna make me say some things and do some things that I don't need to do. Tiffany Haddish. I love Tiffany Haddish.
All right. I like that one.
Tiffany Haddish. My absolute dream, and I know that most people would go the Oprah Winfrey route, but I would love to work with Gayle King. Would love to work with Gayle King. Would love to. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I do have one man on my list. I got to be careful. Okay.
Are you not going to be working with them tomorrow?
Okay. Now, if this is a dream list, right?
Okay.
It's a dream list. And somebody's going to pay this man because it ain't going to be me.
It sounds crazy.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Y'all don't understand. I have been in love with Michael Jordan since I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
Had a poster on the wall, like the big life-size poster, the whole thing. And, people are like, oh, some people have this thing against Michael Jordan because he's, conceited and he's arrogant and this, that, and the third. I feel like I could break him down.
Oh, man. You there? Sorry.
Oh, are you there? Okay, there we are.
Okay,
yep.
Sorry about
I hear
that.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Michael Jordan.
Yes,
no, he
Jordan.
could be that way because he's Michael Jordan. I don't know why people are tripping.
That's what I said.
If you was on that level, what would you be like? Look at the 5-part Netflix documentary and see what that guy's life was like. He's gonna be a certain way. He didn't have, for how many years was he in the league? He was in the league 16, 17 years.
Yes.
He never had like any moment by himself unless he was like in his hotel room.
And had to sneak away to do that.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
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 Listen, Michael can't go to Target. Leave him alone. Okay. That brother can't have an average life. He
It's
doesn't
like
even know how to
Target,
get there.
like with the axe or what?
Bless his heart.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a great list though.
Uh,
So we're gonna do another top 5.
okay.
And this is I want to do top 5 restaurants in Sac, but no, they have to be veggie forward. It doesn't have to actually be a vegetarian or vegan restaurant, but if you do have some, please mention them. But
okay.
Top 5 restaurants in Sac. Hopefully they're small businesses, but if you got something else, then go ahead and do it. This is your time. Top 5 veggie forward restaurants in Sac.
Veggie forward. I love it. Veggie forward. Okay. My first and foremost is Bangkok Garden. It's in Natomas. That is my spot. I love Thai food.
Over there on Arena, right?
Yeah, you into it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I got the Thai food. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's really good, actually. Man. Yep.
Super good. Bangkok Garden. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Okay, and then I'm gonna follow up. There's another Thai spot. It's called Thai Spoon, also in Natomas. It's over by Nothing Bundt Cakes. You know where? Okay.
Me and my wife's first dinner date.
Aww.
Yeah.
You did good, C's. Good job, brother. Okay, and then I'm gonna say, let's see. Oh, you know what? There's a spot. They're all in Thomas. It's in the shopping plaza with Rayleigh's, Round Table, Bella Brew, and then right in between there's a Subway, and next to it is an Indian restaurant.
Oh, Curry Corner.
Curry Corner.
Yeah,
yep.
Shout
That's
out.
The spot.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yep. Love Curry Corner. Okay. And then there's another Indian restaurant. It's in Folsom though, a little bit of a trip. It's called Peacock.
Okay.
Good stuff there. Now, my number 5 on the list, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a restaurant that I'm hoping will begin to cater to my vegetarian needs. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you about a place called Nash and Proper. If Nash and Proper could just figure out a way to marinate and blacken and smoke and do whatever and fry some tofu with seasoning, I would really appreciate it. I'm just saying, just try it one time.
Courtney, we have a vegan cauliflower sandwich. I look out for my vegetarian brethren and sisters out there. Okay.
I'm putting this on my list of things to do as we speak.
So we have cauliflower florets.
Okay.
And you get that with the vegan fuego, which is aioli, but we do it. I make my own veganese, and we do everything that we do in our fuego. Yeah, I have a little bit of experience with cooking.
Call you chef? Is that what?
So when we opened up downtown, I wanted something 100% vegan. So I went out and I got a vegan bun, and then I made a vegan batter for our cauliflower, and then I made the veganese for our fuego sauce that goes on our sandwich. All right.
I love it. On the sandwich.
On the sandwich. That's what we call it. It ain't
That's
no
what I'm talking about.
Sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
We want you to, yes. If you say sandwich, you know you got to eat it.
That is on my list of things to get done and done. I'm there.
So again, might get you in trouble with this one, but this is the time that we need to come in hot. Courtney Dempsey. I know you got something up there. I need you to come in hot. Please don't get fired, but if you are, this is what you're gonna get fired off of. Come, Courtney Dempsey. Good day, Sac. Monday through Friday. Come in hot.
Okay. So I'm coming in hot on something that I feel passionately about. Is this correct? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to talk
Oh boy. Okay. Let me give you a little background.
about. Okay.
We all know what occurred last summer
Mm-hmm.
with social justice and protests and the whole situation. Let me also say this. I have the utmost respect for anyone, man, female, male, female, Black, white, Asian, Latina, who does their job to the best of their ability with every intention of being a good human being. Mm-hmm. There are those who do not. There are those who seek those that they can put under thumb, underfoot, and take advantage of. It's unfortunate, but it's a fact of life. Mm-hmm. That has occurred in this country since this country became a country. And I think that the ignorance to ignore that fact mm-hmm. and then somehow justify the current events by saying that which has happened in the past happened so long ago and it is no longer relevant. Get over it, build a bridge, whatever vernaculars people want to use, is the reason why we are in the space that we're in right now. If you can humble yourself to recognize that you might just be wrong about something, that you might just not know all that you think you know about someone's lifestyle that you've never lived, footsteps that you've never walked in, culture that you don't know anything about, but will appropriate as soon as you have an opportunity to do so. If you just take a minute to think that you might be wrong about something and humble yourself to listen and to absorb that which is different than what you may have been raised to believe, we might be able to get somewhere. But until we accept and acknowledge what people have called the sins of our country and recognize that we need to fix those problems before we can move on, because you just want to move on. You just want to get over it and move on. You can't do that until you fix the disease. You will continue to have symptoms of the disease until you get rid of the disease. And so for all of my brothers and sisters of all colors and races and sexual orientations, if we want to be the country that it says that we are in the Declaration of Independence and in the Pledge of Allegiance and in the Star-Spangled Banner, then we have to acknowledge that we make mistakes and then fix those mistakes. Don't just expect people to get over it and move on, because quite frankly, you haven't been able to get over it and move on. So don't put that in the laps of other people. And I just hopefully said that as generically as I can and as diplomatically as I can. But working in this business, it's very hard because I'm Switzerland, right? I'm supposed to be very neutral. But working in this business, it is very hard not to take those statements and that rhetoric home when I'm raising a young lady who, mm-hmm. when she walks outside, she's a Black girl before she opens her mouth. And unfortunately, I have to raise her with that knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people understand that. So, woo!
I'm not gonna.
That was hot.
Yeah, that was hot. Yeah, I gotta take off my jacket, my hat. You know, like it's. I'm not even gonna elaborate. That was facts, straight facts.
It just is
Courtney Dempsey in the building, everybody. All right, I got one more question for you.
All right.
Tips on a young journalist trying to get into the game. Like, what are some quick tips of that you have? You know, to anybody. It could be any race.
Yeah. I think the biggest advantage that young journalists and broadcasters and tastemakers have right now is this computer that you have at your fingertips, right? You have the opportunity to kind of go out and enterprise your own stories, your own content. You can shoot it, you can learn to edit, all these things that make you marketable to a larger degree, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody can do TikTok and and tweet and do Instagram and all that stuff. And you've got all these tools on your phone to teach you how to do these things. So now take it a step further, get into the I guess the academia side and learn something that is going to not only fortify your dream of being a journalist or a broadcaster, but also that is going to shore up your community. Learn something about economics, learn something about the educational system, learn something about the criminal justice system, prison reform, whatever it is that you might have a desire to, continue to get into as a broadcaster or a journalist is concerned, but then take it up another notch and don't just rely on things that you've already seen done before. Go further, be the writer and the producer and the researcher and do all of that.
Yes.
It's not just about getting on a microphone or in front of a camera and spouting, right? Back that up with some education, because that's the part that's never going to change is the education. You need to back it up with an education.
Well, I tell my son this all the time because he he was into YouTube and then he went to the TikTok, and I was like, well, why don't you dig a little bit deeper? Like, why don't you Google, like the people that are, famous on TikTok or YouTube or, like how did they get there? But then you always want to be better than the next person. And I think that's something that's kind of missing in today's society is like, I grew up in a kitchen where you wanted to take the chef's job. I got a job at Crest 29 for telling the chef I want his job. He was like, you want my job? Come and get it. You're hired. You know what I mean? So that's the mentality that I want all the young listeners out there. And if you old and still dibble dabbling and whatever you're doing,
absolutely
listen to this stuff. The Google machine is the best invention ever. All you got to do is type something into a bar and you could get pretty much every single thing that's on your mind. So,
it's so true.
Instead of, looking at game codes and all this stuff, Google how to make this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you make a Minecraft? How do you make a Fortnite? Like, this is the stuff that we need to figure out, like, I've never been to Nashville, but I taught myself how to make Nashville hot chicken, people. And you know how I learned? The Google machine.
The Google machine.
Courtney Dempsey, you are amazing, but I need one more favor from you.
What's that, Cease?
Who's my next guest?
Oh, I get to pick your next guest?
Well, yes, but you got to be able to get him on here too. So unless you got Michael Jordan's number, don't say him.
Because you know what I was gonna say. Cease. Get MJ. Just get him.
Just get him. Yeah, I'm already in his DM, so he ain't contacted me back yet.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so weak. Okay. Oh, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm going to say, because I think that it's important for women of color to take care of themselves. We tend to be, women in general tend to put ourselves on the back burner, but women of color, we gotta do better for ourselves. We really do. So I'm going to recommend an amazing OBGYN by the name of Dr. Aisha Taylor. Okay. She comes from Oakland, California. She, went to school, went to college, and decided that she wanted to see someone who looked like her in the field of OBGYN, obstetrics and gynecology. And so she became that doctor, and she's phenomenal. Oh, okay. And so she's a physician at Kaiser in the Sacramento area. And she's just a wonderful human being, and she's very, very knowledgeable. And I think that she's got a lot to give, not to just Black women, but also to young Black girls, because I think that's where it needs to start, right? We need to make sure that our young ladies are taking care of themselves and know how to take care of themselves.
That is amazing. All right. I need the information.
I'll send you her info.
All right. Hey, Courtney, plug all your socials. If you got a website, plug that. How does the young Black females get in touch with you to pick your brain? Please plug everything that you got.
Okay, you can hit me on Twitter or Instagram at Good Day Courtney. And if you've got ideas for stories, I love making sure that our people of color are highlighted and women are highlighted. So please hit me up on the website, gooddaysacramento.com, up at the top. If you click on bios, you'll see all of the talent on Good Day, and you can email me from there. Because I want to know about your business. I want to know what you're doing in the community. And I want to, if you are coming back after this entire pandemic situation and you want to get the doors back open and people coming in and making this local economy back to flourishing, hit us up because I want to make sure that we get your story told, and email me.
So this is the biggest show of coming in hot. Thank you so much, Courtney Dempsey. Good Day Sac. Every morning, but you're on there Monday through Friday, I believe, right?
Yes, Monday through Friday.
You need the weekends off.
Child, I need my weekends off. 4:30 to 11, Monday through Friday. Woo, child.
Hey, thank you so much for coming in hot.
Courtney.
You can holler at me always, www.nashandproper.com, at Coming In Hot podcast, at Chef Cec, at Nash and Proper. Come and get those delicious cauliflower vegan sandwiches.
Yes!
Thank you, guys. We out of here. We love you, Sac.
Love you, Cec.
Peace.